Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Thanks for joining us on this quick lesson about how to pick and strum like a pro on guitar. Now, let's get right into it. Picking is something we're going to be doing a lot of, whether it's single note stuff or whether it's strumming and we're doing chords and all of that. So knowing what to do and how to do it at your best is going to be very important. So let's cover the basics here first. How should you hold your pick? All right, well, here I have just a regular old kind of teardrop shaped pick, and I'm going to take this pick and I'm going to put it at about a 90 degree angle with my thumb. So it's coming out, and I've got about, maybe about a centimeter of it showing. And that is a good way to, start. I've got a right angle here with my thumb, and then I've got my first finger just peeking out just a little bit from behind there. That's kind of where I have it. A lot of times if you have too loose of a grip on your pick will start to wander, and it will start to go over this way or that way. You want it at a good 90 degree angle with about a centimeter of it showing. And I'm using just a regular old teardrop Jim Dunlop pick. This is a 73. We're going to be talking more about picks here in a little bit, about the different types of picks and what you could use them for. All right, so that's a little bit about how to hold it and the proper pick position. As far as just regular playing, I would suggest using a nylon type pick. Then this is a 0.73. This is about a medium on the scale. You see them at thin and medium and heavy. And so this is about a medium. So just for general picking, general strumming, this is what I would suggest is a pick like this. One of the main things that you want to work on is steadiness in your picking. What do I mean by steadiness? I mean, if I've got a little drum groove, let me get my little drum groove back here. One. And I don't want to kind of have a lopsidedness to my picking. I don't want to do that. It wants to be right on the beat. I've got a good firm grip on my pick. My downs and ups are about the same volume, and I've got it steady. So the steadiness of your picking to where it's not doesn't have sort of a lopsided disjointedness sound to the notes is very important if you want to make your picking sound smooth. Now, how do we develop that? Well, here's some simple ideas. A picking exercise that you can do. I come up here to the 5th fret, and we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We can do that. That's just the basic one. Maybe we can do it on other strings. Maybe we can go up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're working on steadiness. A lot of times we don't even think to practice little picking exercises like that, but they can be so helpful if you want to really get some definition, and even as you're building up speed in your playing. Another common picking exercise is going to be, we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Okay, so if I turn my groove, 1, 2, ready, go, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Now I can even go backwards with it. Ready, and 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1. Okay? In fact, let's get out of this. Let's get out of this little groove, and let's just get to a regular pure metronome. So let me get this down to maybe about 100 beats per minute. You can even stretch this out and stretch this pinky out. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4 stretch. You can even reverse this and start with your pinky, because a lot of times the pinky is the most, or the least coordinated. Let me say it that way, the least coordinated. So we have to work on that. So we're going to go 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1. You can do all downs if you want. 3, 4, 2, 4, downstrokes. I can do all upstrokes. 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1. I can mix them up. Down, up, down, up, down, up. I can even extend this way. Another one you could do is a chromatic scale. Oh, if we did this here on the 6th string at the 5th fret, we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go back a fret and go 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Back a fret, down a string, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back a fret, down a string. Now this one, you stay there. So go to the 2nd string, don't go back. Now we go back and then slide up for that, and we have a chromatic scale. So if I have my metronome going, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shift back. This one you stay there. I can descend here. 4, 3, 2. Now I go up a string and up a fret. Stay here. And I'm looking for steadiness, each one getting the same amount of time. All right, so there you go. There's some ideas. Another thing I can do is I can do, maybe a scale in thirds. So if I did like a major scale in thirds, it would be something like, this is good because it makes you skip on the strings. And going up and down with a scale in thirds is another way to do it. I could do it with arpeggios. Anything to kind of get a steadiness in your rhythm of that. We did a whole series on this, a fretboard workout series on that. The link is in the YouTube description down below, and I take you through all these workouts to help build up your speed and your picking. All right, that's just some ideas of for your picking. Let's talk about how you practice with this. You can work with a drum loop as we were doing earlier, or I just have a regular metronome on mine. It's a little app. It's called Metro Timer, and I believe it's free. The drum loop I'm using is a little drum loop called Drum Genius, and I use that, and it is if you want a little bit more of a groove to practice with. All right, so that's a little bit about picking. Main thing is you want to have a good, strong grip on your pick. The rest of your hand can be relaxed, but I want a good, strong grip on my pick. I want to be using about a medium type pick for just general strumming and picking. If I'm doing bluegrass stuff, perhaps I want to use a little bit of a thicker pick. If I'm doing jazz stuff, perhaps I want to use a thick pick, but a smaller pick. There's lots of different kinds. We'll talk about those here in a little bit. All right, let's talk a little bit about strumming. What can I do with strumming? All right, so strumming is the sound of the internal groove that is within you, okay? So a lot of guys get real bent out of shape about patterns. What pattern should I use for my strumming? How do I know I'm using the right pattern? And all that sort of questions. I would suggest that you worry less about the pattern and more about finding the groove that works for the particular sound that you're going for. So let's talk about first strumming technique. I need to have a loose wrist for strumming. I need to have a loose wrist. So pretend you're like you're like at the sink and you're trying to get water off your hands. That's the motion. Okay, so I've got this floppy hand, but I'm going to take this floppy hand and I'm going to put my pick in its proper position and still have a floppy hand. And I need to have that for when I'm strumming. Because as I'm strumming down, think about the physics of what's going on. I'm making a little bit of an arc as I'm coming down. So I hit all the strings I want to going down, but as I'm coming up, I just hit a few. So if you can see, I'm making a little bit of an arc with my hand. You'll also notice that I'm not really hitting the string with the pick flat like that. I'm hitting with a little bit of a downward angle on the pick, so that actually it's the side of the pick right here that is getting a little bit more of the action as it glides over that string and goes to the tip, rather than being flat. If you get it flat, there's a lot of pressure that comes against your hand, a lot of resistance. If you angle it just slightly, just a little bit, 15 degrees, you'll find you can get a little bit more dynamic in your playing. And then I would experiment with hitting different string sets. Maybe I could take a chord, maybe here like an E chord, and do like hit the low string, rest the chord, 5th string, rest the chord, 4th string, rest the chord, 3rd string, rest the chord. One of the things you'll notice that I do is I have my pinky, and my way of bracing, you don't have to do it like how I do it, but what I do, because your hand needs some sort of a bracing when you're doing single note stuff, is I just have my pinky just rubbing up along the bottom of that first string, you'll notice. So if I'm playing some of the lower strings, my pinky is just there. But what if I need to play one of the high strings? Then I angle my hand and I start muting with the fleshy bottom part of my thumb here. So my hand, not only does it mute the strings as I'm doing single notes, but it also gives me some stability there. So I'm constantly flipping between these two ways of bracing there. You don't have to do that. Guys do it lots of different ways. That's just how I have ended up doing it. So when I'm doing strumming, I generally want to have a little bit of a lighter pick. I don't want to have a heavy pick when I'm strumming because it's just too much resistance working against you as you're picking. So I would generally do a light or a medium pick. I've got a 73 here, but if I was doing a lot of strumming, going to be doing it all night long, I might use a 60 or something like that as measured in millimeters. You'll see that, and that would be considered a light pick just because it's so much resistance. You definitely don't want to use a heavy pick if you're doing a lot of strumming. So I want to feel the flow of what's going on. So just kind of get the downs and ups part of it first. Actually, even before that, do this. We're going to treat our guitar like a percussion instrument. So we're just going to mute our hand right here, mute all of our strings here, and I've got a little groove going. Just kind of try and find the groove and try to put a little bit of a rhythm with it. So if I just did a simple one, there's the beat. Maybe I can do downs and ups. And sometimes I'll want to take my hand off there and still keep the pattern going. My hand is always going down, up, down, up, down. It's never going to stop that pattern. It's a flow, it's a groove. It's kind of like the wheels on a train. It's always going to be in this cycle. And I can choose the rhythm that I want to play by moving my hand off and on. So if it's on all the time, down, down, down. That's if I just do the down strokes. Okay, so I've been muting the strings now. I can hit primarily the lower ones. I can hit the higher ones. The lower ones. The higher ones. Okay, so we're going to slowly get to a G chord. Low, high, low, high, mix. And that's a simple 8th note pattern there. I could do a 16th note pattern. I can accent the downbeats maybe. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Going back to our G chord. Now, that's a lot of strums. In a general song, I don't want to put that many strums in. But if I keep my hand going, it'll still keep the groove. Hit the low one. I'm just hitting the top few strings, so I can control how many strings I'm hitting. Here's one last, some tricks you can do with strumming. I find in general that folks tend to strum a little bit too passively, and they'll end up doing stuff like this. When your pick is, you're kind of gripping your pick too loose, and I end up getting a lot of pick noise, and it just sounds very weak. Your guitar can take more. It's meant for a louder volume than that. So I find that most people tend to strum a little too passively when they need to be strumming a little bit stronger. I can also add little stops to my strumming, little percussive effects which really get an energy to your rhythm. I'm adding this little pop in there. As soon as I'm hitting the strings, I'm muting it. And I can get all these pops and clicks in my playing as well. Sometimes you'll need to add dynamics to your strumming. So we've talked about louds, but how can we get soft and still strum? That's actually trickier than you would think. What I tend to do is I start using the side of my pick. So if we can get a shot of that, I start using the side of my pick to where the strings are coming a little bit more on the side of the pick than the tip of the pick. So if I'm strumming away and I want to start getting softer, you'll notice now I've kind of loosened my grip on the pick, and so my pick is kind of gone into this, I'm more just kind of brushing the string. But I've still got the rhythm. Time to get loud. I move my pick around to the straight. Let's get soft again. Side of the pick. If I use the point of the pick as I'm trying to get softer, I end up creating a smaller motion, and it just doesn't work that way. It's not a twisty motion with your hand. I'm doing a full, almost from the top of the body of the guitar down here, almost to the bottom of the body of the guitar. You need that full motion, even when you're doing soft stuff, to keep the momentum of the groove. I don't want to just go, strumming just doesn't work that way. I've got to use a larger motion when you strum. Worry less about the patterns, down, down, up, down, down. You'll get lost in all of that and just start to feel the flow. If you don't know what to do, mute your strings and just try and be percussive with it, and then slowly add the chords back into it. Number 2, technique matters. Keep good technique when you're strumming. I've got a nice big arc when I'm doing it. I can control the low notes and the high notes. Have a firm but flexible grip on your pick. So I've got my pick, but I'm also got a little bit of flexibility as it's moving over the strings. Number 4, strum confidently. Don't strum passively or weakly. You want to strum confidently. And if you can, start adding those percussive elements to your strumming, some pops and clicks. And in order to do that, you've got to be really digging into your strumming. I hope this helps and gives you some keys for what I do as a professional guitarist here in Nashville. Alice was asking, what am I using to get my drum machine beat? I am using a little app on my iPhone here called Drum Genius. It's a couple of bucks, I think, to download it. And then it gives you all kinds of different beats. Here's kind of the inward look of it. I can choose a different rhythm, like let's find, this is one that Roger Hawkins did on Kodachrome by Paul Simon. This is the drum groove of that. What I like about this, instead of a metronome, is that it gives you a kind of a drum beat, a whole groove. A metronome will just give you a click. So I like this, and I can still change the BPM, move it down. I can even change a little bit of the pitch, make it a little bit more of a higher pitch. That's a little bit less interesting to me, but the speeding up and slowing down is one. And I've got all kinds. I've got, you can do, let's do a medium swing. So hear all these other things he's adding to the playing, to the sound. It really helps you find the groove in these various styles. And they've got funk, and they've got Cuban rhythms and Brazilian rhythms and all kinds of things. They've got pop and jazz and all kinds of things. 3 things in 3/4. You've got 6/8 rhythms. It's a cool little thing. Because a lot of times just playing with a metronome gets boring. I find that that's boring. Some things I like it for when I'm practicing speed stuff, but when I want to do a particular song or a particular style, give me the full drum kit with that. And that's a little app called Drum Genius. They don't know me from Adam. I just found it. It's a great little app. I want to tell you about a couple of resources we've got going on. We've got coming up our Guitar Gathering Academy that's coming up in March, which we're already, the 3rd week of January. So the first week of March, we do this every year where we learn hymns. And we've done jazz songs, we've done Beatles songs, we've done love songs, we do a lot of Christmas stuff. And in the spring, as we gear up towards Easter, we'll do a Guitar Gathering Academy for hymns. And so where I'll teach you 4 hymns. The hymns for this session, starting on March 5th, are Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus, Blessed Assurance, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing, and I Surrender All. So I teach you the melody, I teach you the chords, I teach you solo guitar arrangements of it. You get backing tracks and all kinds of things. Everything I could think of to help you learn the song. I give that to you. So I thought to kind of show you a little bit, get us in the mood for that, I thought I would play a little bit of I Surrender All. There you go, a little bit of I Surrender All from the upcoming Guitar Gathering Academy. If you're interested in joining us for that, check it out at the link in the YouTube description down below, and we will go from there. That will get you all the information, and you can sign up for that. You know, Gary, you sneaky dog, you're asking what capo was I using? And, you know, I was meaning to actually grab the paperwork out of the closet there because our good friend Keith Morgan sent me this, and it is by a small little capo manufacturer. I will try and get all the paperwork. I forgot the name of it, but I love it. I love it. Well, here's what I like about it. How we're getting off on this. I still have other stuff to talk about. I love our good friends at Kaiser and the clamp type capos as well. But what I'm finding is that they're big. They're just big. Now, I like G7th capos. I've used those for many years. They're great. They're wonderful. Sometimes I need some... Dave is saying an Elliot capo. I believe that is what the name is, an Elliot capo. And what I like about it is that sometimes I'm doing tricky stuff, like on that I Surrender All, and it's, you know, it's got a little clip here on the top that once you kind of pop it into place, it locks in, you press it, and then that releases it. Then it's got a little cork back that you can screw into where you want it to go. So I like, here's what I like using it for, is to get it on here. Oh, I moved the thing too far out. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to brace it on the back. And what I like about it is it doesn't give you a whole lot of things sticking out here at the bottom. And a lot of times when I'm playing and I'm trying to do something tricky, my finger is butting up the back against this capo, and I don't like that. So I know I always tell you to do it flat, but sometimes if I'm doing really technical stuff, I'll angle it just a bit so that I can get I like it. It just gives me a little bit of space right here, and that is all I need. I want to talk to you a little bit about picks. Which pick to pick? Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Thanks for joining us on this quick little lesson on which pick to pick. This is about these picks or plectrums. If you're across the pond over there in Europe, you would call it a plectrum. Here in the States, we call it a pick, and guitar players use them all the time. And so we're going to talk a little bit about picks and which one. There's all kinds of different types and sizes and things they're made out of, and their textures, all kinds of things to consider when looking at a pick and what you can do with it. So first of all, change your mind. I used to always think that picks were just, you know, all these different variation picks were just basically decorative, and they're not. They have very specific purposes. Think of it like a painter that has different paintbrushes, and different paintbrushes are better for different things that they need to do. If they need to do a specific type of stroke, they use this type of paintbrush. If I need to do a particular type of musical playing, then a particular pick is going to be better at that than something else. So let's first talk about, you want to choose the pick that is right for the type of style of playing that you're doing. So let's just kind of talk about sizes of picks first. The general size that you're going to see most often is this teardrop shape. They do have smaller sized ones. This is a little smaller jazz pick. You can see that it's a good bit smaller than the. I'm just talking about the shape at this point. We're not talking about the thickness. And you have big boys, like big triangle things like this big old V pick here. And there's thumb picks and others as well. Here's even a bluegrass pick, and that you'll notice is almost rounded on all of the points, and it's almost it's kind of a triangle with rounded points, so it looks quite different from the standard teardrop shape. So there's different ones. You've got thumb picks. fit over your thumb. I've got a nice big one here. And that allows me to do Merle Travis sort of picking. I like to use them for that sort of playing. You, when you're doing kind of a Merle Travis, a Chet Atkins sort of a style, you may use a thumb pick. And they come in different sizes, and they want to fit nice and snug on your thumb. You also have even these little Fred Kelly speed picks, which these are, it's a thumb pick as well. But you'll notice it's got a little bit of a point down here, so it's almost meant to, if you wanted to, kind of do some strumming. But I can still do my Merle Travis stuff if you need to. Variations in types of picks. All right, that's the sizes. Let's get to the most important thing, which is the thicknesses. Now, the thicknesses are measured in millimeters. The standard sizes are thin, medium, and heavy. So a thin pick is generally from 0.45 millimeters up to 0.70. This is a Jim Dunlop nylon, and it is 0.6. This is 0.6, so it's, what I mean by that is it's pretty flexible, very flexible. Now, if I get to a very thick pick, like here's that rounded bluegrass pick, this guy, boy, he doesn't hardly move at all, bend at all. But the thinner the pick is, the more flexibility it's going to have. So if I was doing a job where I'm playing in a country band and I need to strum all night long, then I would want to use a thinner pick. I just don't want that much resistance in what I'm fighting against my hand when I'm doing a lot of strumming. So if I'm doing a lot of strumming, I generally want a thinner type pick. Now, but for most general playing, I would suggest a medium pick. Medium pick comes in all kinds of different, types, but this is a good example of a medium pick. This is a Tortex Turtle pick here. If you're using one of these nylon ones, it's a 0.73 to 0.80. This is probably a 0.88. So medium picks are 0.60 to kind of 0.88. Good for most playing. They're flexible, but they also have a little bit of stiffness if you need to do some single note stuff along the way. A heavy pick, it's good for fast playing, good for jazz, and generally gets a bit warmer sound if I'm doing a heavier pick. So let me, choose something that's a little bit heavier. This is one of those smaller teardrop ones, and this is a 1 millimeter. So heavies go, anything over 0.80 to maybe 1.2. That's a heavy. So this barely moves at all, but it's really good if I'm doing a lot of single note stuff. Good for jazz. So I like using them for that. Now, the different points on them, you'll notice, this one has a very defined point. I have the same pick, if I can find it, that does not have a big point to it. This is a jazz pick, but you'll notice it has a little bit of a rounder point to it, and that gets a little bit more of a rounded sound. But he used the same pick, this is the identical pick, but this one has the pointed. It's a little bit more of a brighter sound with a little bit more definition with that. And then you have, kind of novelty picks. This V pick here, boy, this guy's 4 millimeters, You could it is completely inflexible. that they're good for specialty purposes. Materials. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, most picks you're going to see general are going to be these little plastic guys like this guys. Little plastic guys. These are great. You'll see them. Sometimes they'll have, oh, I don't know, you know, the names of businesses and things on them. These are cheap to make, and they work generally good. But one thing about them is the plastic ones have a tendency to tear if you've been playing a while, and they tear, and I don't like that. It's a little bit more inexpensive. If you go up, you have this other type here. This is nylon, and I like the nylons. These Jim Dunlop nylons, those will not tear. They may get a little bit rounded on the. They may get a little worn out on the tip of them, but they're never going to tear on you. And that was always my frustration if you're playing a job and then suddenly your pick kind of tears. There's really nothing you can do for that. So that's why I like the nylon ones. There's other ones. There's ones made out of wood. Shoot, I was digging in my pick collection today. I found these. Someone I'd gotten somewhere along the lines from Wambuka Picks, and this is made out of bone and clear tusk and things like that. These are odd picks. Wambuka picks. These are very, they're not flexible at all. So it's kind of more of a novelty pick. I tell you what's a really good pick that I like, if I can find it. Ooh, this guy right here. This little purple guy here. He's very thick. He's I think he's 3 millimeters. And he sounds particularly good on my nylon string guitar for just doing single note stuff. So he just has such a rounded point there. I really like him, and he just sounds really good if I'm doing single note stuff on a nylon string guitar. I've done many recording sessions with using this pick on a nylon string guitar. Here's my pick holder. I got a little pick holder on my key chain. This is my emergency pick holder. It has saved me in many situations. Just have a couple of picks there. Our good friend Greg Voros made this one for me. He had acquired it. He had bought some coasters, the old coasters, vintage coasters that were made out of tortoiseshell, and so he had grabbed those and made these picks. So I don't really use it, but it is a treasured thing that I got from my wonderful friend Greg Voros, who I'm probably going to have lunch with sometime this week. This is my little emergency pick thing. For my general holding picks, I have this little old-timey coin purse sort of a thing, and I keep my picks in there. And if I have to go to a job and just want to grab and have a bunch of picks, I have a little coin purse for that. There's different textures on them too. If I get these standard little ones like this, they don't have any texture on them. And what I like about the nylon ones is they've got some little bumps and ridges on them, and that fits into the grooves of your fingers really nicely. It helps you not to lose your pick. Now, some people do it different ways. I've got some picks that have a hole in them so that you can grip them like this, little Tortex one with a hole in it. And some folks prefer that. I like the ones with the ridges. That just kind of helps me. So, all that to say, what would I recommend? Well, if you're just an average Joe trying to play, I would recommend that you get one of these Jim Dunlop picks, and either .73 or .88. They're both mediums. The 88 is going to be a little bit thicker for you. And for just good everyday playing, I would say grab a pack of these. They're not all that expensive. Get you a dozen of these or so. If you're like me, you lose picks all the time. I tell you, somewhere in this world, they're gonna find in my dryer or underneath my car seat or something like that 1,000 picks, because I lose picks all the time. But I just recommend using one of these for just a general looking at. Okay, that's enough of all that stuff. I want to talk also for a second about dealing with distractions in your playing, in your learning. Dealing with distractions. When you're in your practice time, in your practice space, you want to not have, I don't want to have the computer nearby. I don't want to have the TV nearby. I don't want to have my phone where I'm going to be tempted to look at that. When I'm practicing, I want to be away from external distractions. I want to be away from that. I want to get away from all of that sort of stuff. Remember we talked about last time, you don't think of practicing as a prison. Practicing as a sanctuary. Practicing is where you get away from all the stresses of the world. And but a lot of times we'll get distracted with YouTube videos and things like that, and it will just be an external distraction, and we actually get away from the task at hand. There's also another type of distraction I wanted to mention just for a second. The internal, the mental, educational distraction that you may be tempted in. I want to learn jazz. I want to learn bluegrass. I want to learn rock. I want to learn my favorite solo to this. I want to learn and you've got 5, 6 things that you want to learn, and I'm just going to learn them all at the same time, and I'm going to give each one of those 10 minutes, and I'm going to do that. You're not going to make any progress at all. That is an internal, a mental distraction. And what you need to do with that is you can only focus on a couple of things. So I would suggest, great, put those things that you want to learn on a list, and we're gonna do 20 minutes on one thing. And then if you want to do 20 minutes on another, great, that's fine. 2 things, that's about all the mind can handle. But if you start slicing it up where I'm going to do less than 20 minutes on something, you're just not getting down enough into that subject in order to do that. That's a mental distraction, and I wrestle with that as well. Ooh, I want to learn this lick. Ooh, I want to learn that chord. Ooh, I want to learn this song. And next thing you know, I never get anything done because I'm just piddling on, half dozen little ideas that I never actually get mentally down enough into that to really get it underneath my fingers. So that's some things to avoid external distractions as well as internal distractions. I find I can get a whole lot more done if I never turn on the Instagram and the latest YouTube guy that's showing his favorite lick for that. I'll chase that all day long and never get any better. What gets me better is being alone with my instrument and just exploring. Then I really start making progress that sounds like me and not sounding like somebody else. I hope that's of help to you. I want to play out one song. Yesterday was January 19th, and that was the birthday of Phil Everly from the Everly Brothers. And Phil died, he was born in 1939. He died in 2014 at the age of 74, and he lived the last years of his life from 2000 until the end of his life. He lived in Columbia, Tennessee, just down the road. When we first moved to Nashville, I played an event. It was just kind of a fundraiser thing, and little did I know when I got there that Phil Everly was going to be there and signing autographs and stuff like that. So it was an honor to be at least in the same room as Phil Everly. So thought I would do an Everly Brothers song. All I Have to Do Is Dream. This was recorded here in Nashville. Chet Atkins was on guitar in the original 1958 recording. Chet Atkins was the one that was on the guitar. It listed in Rolling Stone magazine 500 Greatest Songs of All Time. It was written by Felice and Boudleaux Bryant, a great songwriting duo here in Nashville that wrote so many different songs. They even wrote Rocky Top, the theme from UT Knoxville up the road. Let me play a little bit of All I Have to Do Is Dream. you go. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for supporting the work. We've got the Super Chat going on. We also have the little PayPal link there. If you want to support the work that we do in providing you these free lessons and all that sort of stuff. Helps us keep the lights on. Keep up the great work in your playing. Be with your guitar every day, and we will see you guys next time.